If you are watching this video, then it is likely that your partner has recently broken up with you. And that's a painful process to go through. Gut-wrenching in many cases, depending on how close you were to that person and how you felt about them. It's very hard to put into words how painful that can be. And it seems in the early days impossible to recover from. If that person has been a long part in your life and you have been with that person for a long time and suddenly they're gone, your whole life seems empty. It seems that you are missing something. And that's not an easy situation. A lot about how you feel will also depend on why the person broke up with you. Or perhaps you broke up with them because of something they did. If it's a situation which was down to misunderstandings, then there's a very good chance that you can recover from it. If it's a situation at the other end, perhaps that other person mistreated you or cheated on you or did something very bad, then you're better to be away from that person. And you have to find a way to rebuild your life. But in most cases, people break up due to misunderstandings and fights over the silliest things. And depending on the history of that relationship, you can recover from it. So if you recently lost your partner and are wondering how to get them back, then there are some strategies you can apply. Before we go into those strategies, if you've been in a situation where that person has mistreated you, then you need to get away and never speak to that person again. And if that person has physically or mentally harmed you, then you need to report him or her. On the other side, as I said, if it's for something very silly, then there are many ways to resolve that issue. It's important to maintain your self-respect. It's important that in some circumstances, you'll never get back together with that person. And you're going to have to find ways of rebuilding your life. This video is mainly concerned about strategies, about how to win that person back. There will be other videos on this YouTube channel published in good time that will talk about the other situations in more detail. But right now you might be feeling very ill, in a lot of pain, and highly emotional. So you need to take some time to think about what happened. First strategy I would suggest is to write it down. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write it down clearly in your mind about what happened. Why did the relationship break up? Why did that person not want to continue being with you? It may have been something that you did, or it may be that just both parties it was getting stale, and the relationship was getting stale, and that I think, both parties were just drifted apart and didn't realize it was happening until it was too late. But even in that situation, if there's a deep underlying love, then there are ways of turning that around. So first you have to decide, do you want to be back with that person? Do you feel that your life is better with them or without them? So a simple thing like making a list of pros and cons. What are the good things about being with that person and what are the bad things about being with that person? And deciding from there whether you want to have them back. One thing is very important. You must always maintain your self-respect. Don't go back with somebody for the wrong reasons. Okay, you are you. You are a human being. Part of being in love is the possibility of having your heart broken. And that's a very human emotion. And over time, that pain will die away. And eventually someone else will come along in your life. And, it will get better. It will get better. And you need to spend some time thinking about these pros and cons. Don't try to do it in an emotional rush. Just go and take some breath of fresh air, spend some time with other people and think about that person in the context of being a little bit separated from them and then understanding what was good and what was bad. Now, if you then decide that you don't want to be with that person, then you just need to move on, and that's dealt with other videos on this channel. If you decide you want to try and win them back, then the next step is to think, why did you why did you begin a relationship with that person in the first place? If you remember and it brings back a lot of smiles and good feelings about why that relationship started, then you need to start to work to win that person back. First thing is to maintain some kind of communication with them. At this stage, that other person may not be interested at all in coming back. So you should be friendly and nice when communicating with that person. Don't be emotional around them. Maintain a positive, friendly outlook with that person. And as always, stay with your self-respect. Don't act like a victim. Stay positive. Have fun with that person or with a mutual group of friends. And be kind and understanding with them. That it can be a difficult process. If they don't respond initially, be patient. If you really want to be with that person, then it can happen. As I said, don't be emotional. Don't confuse the issue, but just be generous and kind and show your continued attraction to them in subtle ways. A little bit of flirting, but not huge amounts of affection or any signs of desperation that will scare that person away and put them off you. But at the same time, you need to act a little hard to get. You can flirt a little bit with them, but keep your self-respect. If you see that they might be changing their mind, make that person work for it. Okay? You need to observe their body language. If they're completely closed off to you for long periods of time, then maybe there's no way of rescuing it. But if they're showing willingness to be open, slightly flirtatious back to you, then there is a good chance. And you must use your instincts to follow that up. You can also, of course, talk with mutual friends to find out if there's any interest in getting back together. But always maintain your self-respect. Don't give yourself away too easily. You can perhaps, if you are in a social situation with a mixed group of friends, it's very important to show that you're not suffering from the breakup. You can be a little bit flirtatious with that person, also with other people, so that he or she can see that you have got over the situation and you're moving on. And if he or she sees that you're positive and moving on, then you're going to seem more attractive again. Don't hide from these people, from this person. Have confidence in yourself. If he sees you interacting with other people of the opposite sex, he or she may even get jealous, a little jealous, and there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, your focus is on getting that person back, not to suddenly run off with somebody else. Particularly if that person that broke up from you is the person that you want to be with again. Stay in communication. You can call that person, you can talk to them. And over time, you may have the opportunity to discuss the reasons for the breakup, and maintaining that positive attitude and talking and finding out what the root cause of the breakup is. Because in many cases, the reasons why a breakup occurred may not be the root cause. And you must find out, you need to get to the bottom of the fundamental reason. That could be something that you've been doing over a long period of time they didn't like. It may be that they've started to be attracted to somebody else. It could be stresses from other situations like work or study, or problems with their other people that they interact with, like their families and things. Maybe they just need some time to themselves. This is the exploratory phase. You're trying to find out what's going on, but you have to be kind and sympathetic to them and find out what that core reason is. If you can find out the core reason and you can discuss with that person about the core reason, then based on what that core reason is, you can find ways to help and support that person to remove that problem. Show them that you're interested. Show them that you care. Show them that you want to support them and help them. That will show that person that you are the right person to be with, and will encourage them to come back to you. As that process is ongoing, you have to use your instincts, watch the body language. You can try a little bit of intimacy, like touching that person when you're talking with them. If they don't reject you, then just a little bit more over time, smiling, touching them. And if you've overcome that obstacle, there'll be a very natural, ongoing process that will lead you back into that relationship. Talk to them about the wonderful times you had together. remind them about the feelings, the shared experiences that you had together when you were laughing and enjoying each other's company and having fun. Don't be negative. Don't be angry. Don't fight with them. So the progress of winning back your ex will depend on the feedback from their body language and their tone of voice and their emotional state. So you need to be gentle, be patient, find out that root cause, and gradually build up to a point where you can be intimate with them again and the relationship can be back together. At that point, then to maintain and grow and strengthen that relationship so a breakup doesn't happen and again, make sure that a fundamental issue, the core problem is resolved and doesn't come back. And make sure that you are both happy to be together again. And then everything will be fine and you can go forward with love in your hearts to strengthen that relationship and move on. If this video has helped you, please like it by clicking on the thumbs up below and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And please comment, please comment on the video. If you've had this situation or you're in this such situation, please let us know and we'll respond and hopefully I'm going to get a conversation going if you need to answer any questions. Thank you very much for watching and there'll be more videos coming out soon. Thank you.